here I am. As we transition from spring into summer, everything has been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. On the business side, things are actually getting exciting. I am busy marketing and preparing my business for the summer market, pushing my products across the US. On the personal side, May and I have continued in a very friendly manner. We do some shopping together, we go for walks in the park, and we have even started to go for bike rides together. But it feels strange. We live right across the way from each other, yet I am sharing my apartment with another man just to make ends meet. My roommate always looks at me and asks, "Why are you not just getting back with your wife?" He sees us going out on walks, rides, and shopping trips. From the outside, it looks like we are dating. I've even joked around with May and said, "I guess I'm your new boyfriend now. Never mind calling myself your husband." She laughs about it and thinks it's funny. But on the emotional side, the tension is always there. When we bring up our relationship and talk about what love actually is, things get difficult. I asked her about how long she loved me for, or if she ever truly loved me in the past. She says, "Yes, I did love you." But I look at the facts and say, "Well, if you did love me, it was only in the beginning when you had a lot to gain. You were part of my factory plan, and I was supporting you to get your residency in Canada while supporting your daughter." Those discussions bring up instant tension. May just looks at me and says, "Now you're making me angry, and I know it's time to pull back." May sticks to her original ideas. She says she has fallen out of love and wants nothing to do with the entrepreneurship side of life anymore. She told me the other day, "I have two choices. I can work a regular, steady job, but that's not going to take me anywhere. What will end up happening is I may be forced to go back to China to make my way back home, or I have to find a new man." I had to bite my lip and hold back when she said that. I know I am partly to blame because the factory failed, but I always remind her that we failed because of global politics, circumstances, and logistics, not my personal fault. She agrees with me on that, but she still falls back on her new rule. She doesn't want to do business. She would rather have somebody with a steady job who can just look after her. I tell her that my pension secures our housing and our food now, and that I am building the business back up from my desk. But that doesn't impress her. She just reminds me, "I don't like business anymore because I am not good at business." How do I argue against that? Still, she says, "Leo, I am willing to be your friend. I am not running away from that. If you get orders in China and need help with translation or logistics, I am willing to help you." So, it has come to the point where I have to accept this is just a friendship. It has caused a lot of soul searching. I have to officially think of myself as a single man. I have a life, I still have equity in my business, and I have to move forward to see where it goes. When I tell her about my new business push, she just says, "Good for you, Peter." She calls me by my English name, but her face tells me she doesn't see a for sure thing. She asks, "Well, what if it doesn't work?" And after everything we went through with the pandemic and the tariffs, I am left dumbfounded. How do I argue against that? The past is fading like a waning moon, and the future holds no hope for a reconciliation between us. She is planning to head to Quebec to cuddle up under her daughter's umbrella. Her daughter is in her fourth year of university, supported financially by her father. May can just live there, do a little work, and feel no financial pressure. Her plan is short term. I, on the other hand, am thinking long term. I am planning a 7-day trip down to New York to launch my Stock Island products, these floating party canopy islands for lakes. I am going to do photo shoots, video shoots, and work with influencers. It's a social media marketing frenzy. Then, I am going to hit the road on the long holiday weekends, taking the product directly to the big lakes and marinas. My plan is to build a national rental club where marinas can hold 4 or 5 of my islands and rent them out for personal use. Even though I am 68 years old, I am looking at a 15-year plan here before if I can rebuild the business and the money comes back, maybe she will look at me differently, but I worry the love will be completely dead by then anyway. And to be honest, I don't want to be in a position where she only comes back because I've made money. It is a terrible feeling. I told her, "If you love me, you should still love me now, when things are tough. I don't know why you say you don't love me, and then even if I offer that extra money later, you would change your mind. It is not fair for you to only return because there is a pile of cash in the bank. It is not right." I tried to bargain with her. I said, "Come work with me now. Let's share a place together." You don't have to love me right away, but let's rebuild our lives. I have a stable base of income with my pension to support us, and you can work a little bit at your own leisure. But no, she doesn't want it. Her refusal is like an iron wall. It makes your mind wander into dark places. I sat by my window and I even kind of wondered, is there a different motive here that she isn't telling me? I asked her, maybe you don't want to live with an older man anymore? Or maybe you don't want to live with a foreigner anymore? When I say that, she gets a little angry. She snaps at me, and then she always goes back to that same business reason. She claims she just doesn't want to do entrepreneurship anymore. She doesn't like the risk. She doesn't like the stress. But I wanted to test her logic. I needed to see if it was really about the business or if it was truly about me. I told her, May, when I first moved back here to Canada from China, I was trying hard to get a regular job. I was putting out resumes to companies and everything. Are you telling me that if I did secure one of those steady jobs, you would still leave me? She looked at me, paused, and said, no, probably not. That answer hit me like a slap in the face. It keeps her in her lane about wanting just a less stressful life. She just wants money to come in steadily, live life, and not have to worry about the future. Well, what if I did very well this summer? What if I made thousands of dollars? Would that impress you? She looked at me coldly and said, is that going to be $100,000 every year? And that is where it lies. It isn't about a temporary win. It is about total, permanent financial security. And she doesn't believe I can give that to her anymore. So, to tell you the truth, I don't have hope left for this marriage. I am starting to feel that it is time to think about divorce, and that is likely the direction this is going. Come September, when we both have to move out of our current apartments, who knows what will happen. She might find someone new in Quebec while she is living near the university. I might bump into someone out on my promotion tours in the US and around the Canadian lakes. But I know one thing for sure. I need to settle into a new place by myself for the long term. I cannot keep living on 4-month contracts with roommates or shifting between Airbnbs. I need a permanent apartment where I can solidify my residence and my life as a retired man. For this summer, May and I are enjoying the flowers, the parks, and the lake. It is a strange kind of friendship between a husband and a wife who are sleeping in separate buildings, but I think it is going to be a short journey. My hopes are not high for our marriage reconciliation, but my eyes are firmly on the road ahead. I am moving forward, one lake, one weekend, and one day at a time. So now I am focusing on looking for an apartment full time. I'm going to stay in the local area because there are good services here for me. It's been home for the last 4 years, and May is going to then head to Quebec. Once I have an apartment settled in, I can make my decisions based on my business results from this summer. That would give me the opportunity that I might go to China and work on some products. If I've got the extra money from the summer sales, I could spend 3 months in China working in the factory, building some new models for the following summer. Or I could decide instead of China, maybe I might want to go down to Florida in the deep south where they're still doing water sports for the next 3-4 months. I have some very good opportunities staring at me. And I'm sad that May will probably not be a part of it. I feel the odds are against us getting back together. The bottom line is, come September 1st, the rope between our two boats is going to untie. She will take the road to the left and head to Quebec in 3 more months from today. I will take the road to the right, the retired life with my focus locked on a new horizon. I've survived the pandemics. I've survived the bitter tariff wars. I've survived the crushing loss of my factory. I will survive this transition too. The map is open, the pension is steady, and I am taking total control of my own coordinates. But I have to be completely honest with you. Recently, I decided to try to kill the pain. I felt lonely, so I thought I would sign up for one of those social media dating platforms. You know the ones where it's just a swipe to the left or a swipe to the right on your phone screen. Long story short, I feel like I've struck out, as they say in baseball. 3 strikes and you're out. I went through over 12 different candidates. With 3 of them, I actually struck up very good, serious, and honest conversations. And yes, 2 of them were Asian. I must confess, I have a soft spot there. And I even caught myself looking at candidates who looked a little bit similar to May. But I shook it off and carried on. We had serious conversations, but I made a rule: no more than 3 messages per candidate. I wanted to get straight to the point. In the end, they all just dropped out. They hung up the phone on me, or they just stopped answering my messages. Gone. Poof. Just like that. After a few days of that, I just felt this whole thing was a load of crap. I am 68 years old, but on these apps, I'm feeling like I'm supposed to act like I'm 28 years old. How do you start dating again at this stage of your life? Usually, when you are young, people are trying to match to start a family, buy a house, and build a future together. But at my age, and at the candidate's age, it is absolutely different. It is not about looking for a partner to grow with. It's supposed to be about companionship. On the surface, that is not a bad idea. But in reality, it makes the interaction very awkward because you aren't building a new life together. The conversations tend to feel like job interviews. It's just a cold checklist. There is no interest because they already have our own lives. They keep mentioning to me all the time, oh, I'm settled, I'm not in a hurry, I am very independent, and so forth. And guess what? I'm in the exact same boat. So, what are we signed up for on this platform? It's a joke, actually. We are all wasting our time. Maybe at this late stage, it just feels like it's what we're supposed to do: seek out a partner. I guess, in the end, it's all overrated. At 68, I really don't want to have a partner telling me what to do and where to be. I want to go here, I want to go there. It's just too much energy. It seems like I can spend my time on things that are more important and more worthy. In the end, with all the funny digital games, I just realized I don't need this noise in my life. I would rather just remain single. I want to have my time completely to myself to work on the business things that I want to do. Now, my outlook is different. Maybe when I am out on the water this summer promoting my island products and talking to people at the marinas, I might meet a special friend naturally. But that is all I am going to look at it as. I am done trying to impress anybody. I am absolutely done trying to follow someone else's checklist. It's interesting because this is the exact kind of relationship I am developing with May right now. And maybe this is how my story is supposed to end, where all I do is have mature friendships, just like the one I have with May. No tight connections, no heavy commitments. It is just about smelling the flowers and enjoying the day's journey. That is where I stand today. The car is sold, the apartment is locked in for the summer, the business is moving across the US market, and the dating apps are deleted. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. Thanks for watching my personal retirement journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe right below the video. Stay tuned for the next phase of this channel, where we leave the personal drama behind and dive straight into the brutal, fascinating B2B history of the last 10 years: the Chinese manufacturing booms, the factory closures, and the economic wars. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on the checklist of modern dating. See you on the next lake. I will be dropping another personal side video soon, bringing you the updates on the situation.
Hello, Peter here, or as in the animations, Leo. Nevertheless, as we move forward now, I am going to step out from behind the animation. I am going to transition this channel into direct face-to-face talking head videos. No animation or AI. When this September hits, May will be out of the picture, heading down the road out of province. I will be heading toward a new horizon, to the eastern USA seaboard, and then likely down south to push the business. The personal relationship story is coming to a close. For now, there are no more major topics left for us to debate. Our directions are writing in stone as I speak. Stepping in front of the camera now, in live format, will allow me to bring you a completely different level of depth as I forge everything into a retirement. I won't be telling you a story about a broken marriage anymore. I am going to take you inside the mind of a businessman who is chasing retirement while living in the trenches of global trade and economics. We will dive into the finer points of what it actually takes to survive and stabilize, all while building a retirement plan, and all while everything you build falls apart. It's a shift from the heart, the love of the build, back to the brain, the wisdom of it all, and that's exactly where I need to go. And from that point, we begin the journey again to retire and hopefully soon. Cheers. I appreciate you all. Please like and subscribe to follow the journey. See ya.